Hi guys, this is Stacy from the Crazy Outdoor Mama, and today we are going to do a deep clean of the camper. I got some cleaning stuff, my sprays inside, my vacuum, and we are going to do a mid-season clean. This is perfect for if you are putting your camper into storage or getting it out for the first time and you were lazy before you put it in storage, you didn't clean it. So we're going to do that, and for us, it feels like we are always going. Don't really have time to do much more than like a general sweep and a wipe down. And when we're cleaning up, I noticed there's quite a few spots that are actually kind of icky. So we are going to do some hot spots. I'm going to show you some spots that you might not have thought of that are actually pretty gross, and some of it can help reduce the odor in your camper. So let's come on in and I'll show you those spots. Okay. All right. So I've made this a list of the spots that I found, and the first thing I found might not be a big deal for you if you don't have kids, but I got 3 kids. They're constantly eating snacks, drawing, I don't know, losing stuff. I don't know where their stuff goes, but I found where some of it goes, and it's actually behind the bench seat. So if you look in here, a lot of stuff tends to get under this cushion. I don't know if you have storage like I do, but under our cushion we have some storage, and I was actually showing my mom where we stored stuff, and then I was kind of embarrassed. My mom is much cleaner than I am. And we saw all of this, if you can see it, Cheerios and crayons and dust and just other food particles, and it's just kind of crazy. So obviously a broom will not fit in there. Okay, so I'm gonna get my vacuum it out, pick out what I can. I'm sure my kids will be happy to have some of their crayons back. They go through like a pack a week. And it's also really good if you have mice in your area. I always see articles about mice. Thankfully we haven't had any, but it is summertime, the ants are coming. So I want to get rid of all the food stuff I can, because the last thing we need is ants everywhere. So I'm going to go grab my vacuum and clean that out. Alright, so I just vacuumed this out. It looks way better, and if you guys noticed in the video, I also vacuumed my drawer. My drawer is constantly overstuffed and sticking out, so I guess by nature stuff falls into it, especially since it's next to this dining area. So I feel a lot better about that, about the mice, about the ants. So I'm going to move on to the next hot spot that I found. So looking at my list, we're moving on to the kitchen area. I'm going to put all of this stuff back at the end because I'm deep cleaning it. I just kind of like to have everything open so I can see everything. Okay. So if you clean, a general clean, you might lift off these tops. You might clean underneath them. You might even wipe this off, but you can see this. You see the dark circle around there. I don't ever look at that. And I probably should, because it's kind of sticky and it's kind of gross, and it needs to be cleaned, and when I smell it, it smells like grease. So a big concern I always hear, and all kinds of articles are about, is like scents and smells in your camper. The small space, it seems like it always absorbs smell. So this is one of the things you can do, is make sure that this area is super clean and that the grease isn't getting all those smells stuck into it, especially with the dust and everything. So to clean this, I'm just going to use some really good soap, like Dawn, give it a good scrub, and stick it back in there. Yours should be pretty easy to remove. Mine was already removed. I should have shown you guys that. Usually there's a little clip. Sorry, yeah. Okay, so to get this out, it should be pretty easy. Mine just has a little clip here that oh boy, I need to clean that too. So as well as cleaning this, make sure to get all along the top of here. I mean, that's kind of gross. It's kind of embarrassing, guys, but I'm trying to help you clean your camper. So just pop off this little clip here, and then you can just take this inside. Unless you're actually camping, which I don't know why you're deep cleaning while you're camping, you should just take this inside and wash it in your house so you don't have to use up your tanks and stuff like that. So I am going to go do that, and I'll show you guys the result after. Bye. Alright, So here's that vent fan over the stovetop we were talking about. I decided to do it outside because it's pretty greasy, and my son said he wanted to help. So we're gonna scrub this in some soapy water. Show him how you scrub it, buddy. All right. We're gonna scrub it like that. I'm gonna scrub both sides. Can you scrub over here? He's very excited about cleaning. More excited than I am. I could use some of that excitement. All right, so I'll show you how that looks after we are done cleaning. So we'll see you in a minute. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is the fridge. Fridges, to me, almost always smell bad. So I use an antibacterial wipe when I clean these out because I have a theory, and I don't know if it's true. If you guys are science people, you probably correct me, but I think even when you take the food out, little spores stay in there, so when you turn off your camper and your fridge, I think those just get really stinky and sometimes turn into mold. So you want to make sure to wipe down everything you can. We have a really small fridge, so it's not hard to clean, but a lot of times you can completely take these things out and put them like in your dishwasher or hand wash if you feel more comfortable. But what I'm going to be focusing on is the drip pan, because you see these are easy to see, the shelves are easy to see, but in the back of your fridge, underneath the coils, you might have this thing full of water. And if you want to just look at that, it might have some gross and stuff. Like ours has this slime, if you can see my finger, and that's kind of gross. I'm going to wipe that off my finger right now. And so you want to dump that water every time, and you want to wipe that out with a like antibacterial thing, or even better, bring it inside the camper or inside the house and just wash it with soap, because that's really nasty. And let me smell this. Yeah, that smells like old food and bacon. We eat a lot of bacon. So that's something I'm going to bring in the house, wipe out really good, and put back, because it's just slimy and it's gross, and it's something you might not think about because it's at the end of the camp. Here's my son. I'm supposed to stop it. Alright, so I don't know if I'm going to leave this part in here. If you guys did see my son, he popped up and scared me. That boy's a ninja. Okay, anyway, so back to what I was doing. I gave him a cool sticker book to keep him occupied. You guys should try that. It's worth the money. I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to show you guys how much better it looks after you give it a good clean, and probably how much less stinky and slimy it is. So that's always a bonus. Right? Actually, I'm not going to put it back. I'm going to clean that. I should not procrastinate. That's what I do, and that's why we are here deep cleaning, because I don't always remember to do these things after every trip. Okay. Alright, so we cleaned this out. There's no more brown, no more sliminess, and no more smell. So it should look nice and white like how it was when you bought it, hopefully when you bought it. And we are just going to slide that right back in here. And we are going to move on to our next item. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do on number 4, we are going to look along the edges of the sink and the kitchen area. So I usually have stuff piled up against the edges that just kind of stays there, and we just did a general clean, but we still have this camera stuff because I do camera recording things when we're out. I have a drying rack, a drying towel, but now I already cleaned this, guys, but it was bad before I cleaned it. When you take out all the stuff along the edges, it's clean now, but all along here can get really grimy. So you want to just wipe down all along here, and I found a lot of stuff, especially right here, and you could probably even give all around these edges a little clean too. So that's something that'll just really make it look polished, just to have all your edges, no crumbs, no gunk, just wipe that off. And that's one of the easier ones, but you know, maybe you aren't like me, you don't have a ton of junk there, but I do. So I just want to tell you guys about that because that was a bad spot for me. And while we're in the kitchen, I want to talk about under the sink drain strainer. So I have mine off, and if you look inside right here, it is pretty nasty. I usually clean the strainer and I bring it inside, but all this stuff along here can get pretty gross. So what I do, since it's kind of hard to even clean with your finger, is I just get a little Q-tip. I get a Q-tip, I get my spray, and I just do it that way. Because your finger is kind of too big to get in there. So I'm going to show you guys how it's looking. First off, this Q-tip, you can see it. is pretty brown. There we go. And I'm just gonna go around all these edges, right here on the inside, and as much as I can down in there. Ooh, and I'm getting a lot of gunk off. I got both sides full of gunk, so we'll probably need a couple of Q-tips to really clean that good. And to me, it's another thing that really holds smell, is these sink drains. I mean, that's like a piece of food stuck in there. So just get your favorite spray. I have this grapefruit one that I really like, and just clean through it. Alright, so now it's looking much cleaner, much less dingy, and I think it'll just be a lot less smelly. So I use like 4 Q-tips. You can see them. They're kind of out of focus, but I don't think you even want to see that in focus anyways. It's kind of gross. So just bring your Q-tips, do that deep clean there, and just makes it look a lot better. Alright, so we are going to move on to our next spot. It's going to be moving into the bathroom. So a lot of people are already really good at cleaning the bathroom because by nature it's kind of gross. You know what happens in the bathroom. But I'm going to focus on the tub because we don't actually use our tub. We use it as kind of a storage spot. If we're out for a long time, we just go into a hotel and use it as an excuse to go explore town and just go take a great hot shower. It's like 40 minutes long, and the kids get to take a giant bath with as much water as they want. So it tends to collect a lot of debris. We were using it for firewood storage, we were using it for food storage, so I found a couple apple cores in there. It was a trash bag holder, so we had like our paper bag of trash. Of course it split, and I thought I got all of it up, and I didn't. It's kind of gross. Alright, so we are now going to look in the tub. I talked to you guys about how I used to store stuff there, and we've kind of tried to reduce that. So after I pulled everything out, and I wiped down the bottom, you might have to use a vacuum. We had a lot of wood bits left in there. We just have this trusty pool. You wouldn't believe how entertaining it is for kids. And our tool bag normally goes in there. It's not in there right now because we are doing some updates on it. That's all you gotta do, just wipe it down, keep it clean. And it might help to put some additional organization in here if you guys can see this, because then it might reduce how much junk is put on the bottom. We just bought this on Amazon, and I might link to it in the comments if you do use your tub for storage. My son is going crazy outside, sorry guys. And that will really help maybe reduce the amount of junk that gets thrown at the bottom, because it ended up kind of being just, I don't know where this goes, I'm going to throw it here. But anyways, that's a problem spot that's messy and junky. Wipe it off, organize it, and it will be better. So we'll move on to our next spot, which is going to be the bathroom vent screen. Alright, so we are talking about the vent cover in your bathroom. This is another thing I don't really even look at. I just kind of tend to look down. I don't look up. But I was turning it on, opening the vent, or opening the little cover, and I noticed there's like a dead bee, a dead spider, and all that kind of stuff on it. So hopefully yours is as easy to pop off as mine is. Mine's just held by some little tabs that, you know, you just pull on and off. So we're gonna come look at it and expose how dirty it is. So now you guys can see there's like some dead stuff here. There's all this dust right here. So you could wipe it off with a microfiber cloth, which is what I have, but to get the most of it, I'm going to vacuum it. If yours is a pain in the butt to get off, you could just use a cloth, but I am just going to pop this off. Please get glasses or close your eyes when you're doing this, because it's stuff's kind of falling off. Oh! Okay. So, if you can see, here's that dead bee I was talking about. And here's a spider. And this is why I need to clean this. So, I'm going to first vacuum it, and then I'm going to get it with a cloth if that doesn't work. And I will probably even get the fan with a cloth too, because I see a bunch of dust buildup. I'll show you guys that. There's a bunch of dust buildup right here, and it's actually kind of sticky. It's almost like just humidity, or just that's how the dust feels, but I'm probably going to wipe that down too. So I will show you I'll show you how this stuff looks when I clean it. So I'll be right back. Alright, if you guys can see that, that is looking a lot better. No spiders, no gunk. I really like it. So now let's move on to our next icky thing in the camper. Alright, so if you guys can see, it is a lot better looking. The black dust had accumulated on the fan is gone. The plastic behind it is cleaner. And even the metal that the fan is mounted on is a lot shinier. So now we are going to move on to our next item, which are AC evaporator coils. So I'll show you guys mine. Alright, so the next thing on our list are the AC evaporator coils. We don't really open it too much unless we have a problem. And we had a problem, we open it and we're like, ooh, that's nasty. So all you gotta do, your cover, which I'll show you guys here, it's probably just secured on by 2 screws. Ours was. So unscrew that, pop it off, and you have all of this. Now these are very delicate. I did a lot of research on it, so you can't just, you know, manhandle it and just go to town. You have to be gentle. So I have sacrificed my boar bristle brush for my hair. I haven't actually used it in 5 years. Don't get it twisted, I'm fancy. But anyways, you could also use a nail brush, the kind that clean underneath your nails. Something where the bristles aren't super stiff. You don't want to mess it up. And you want to go in a downward motion. You see all that stuff coming off. And word of advice, if this is over your bed or something, don't do this before putting a tarp or some plastic over it. This can get really nasty. We just washed all of our cushions, so we just took those off the bench. If you see all this coming off, and I don't know, if you're a really safe person, maybe you should wear a mask. I think it's just us though, so you'll be alright. So I'm just going to go along here as gently as I can and get all of this off. If you look at my brush is getting pretty gross, and you might be able to see some of the stuff falling off. Look at this section right here. A downward motion, and then it's off. You might have to vacuum the area underneath it after this, because it is all going down. But this is looking a lot less gross than before. I keep brushing it, and I keep getting stuff off, so you just want to do it, I guess, as much until you feel comfortable with how clean it is. So I'll probably just do this till I get a little bit less debris coming off here. You gotta be very gentle with it. Alright, the last thing on my list is all the edges where you think stuff doesn't get because you haven't organized. We have like a little shoe bin here. It's not here right now because we're cleaning that out too. And I have already cleaned this out, but all along these edges where I thought stuff wouldn't get because I had my bin, there's a ton of dust. You can't get that out with a broom. So I encourage you to get your vacuum and vacuum all along the edges of your camper, because little fine dust really gets stuck. And we went to the desert, so there's a ton of dust everywhere. So definitely go everywhere, especially if you have carpet in some places that really holds the dust. So vacuum those, shake them out, do whatever, and that will really help get your camper nice and clean. Okay, so we have just cleaned the camper, a deep clean. I have my list. I'll make this available for you guys on my website if you want to do a deep clean too before the season starts, at the end of the season, and it has the things you'll need. This is my rough copy. I'm going to make it nice for you guys, don't worry. And some spots that you might not have known about. So hopefully your camper will be less stinky, less gross, less, oh my gosh, that's there, once you're done doing this. So thanks for cleaning with me. I hope that you're not too grossed out, but I want to help you guys. So until next time, this is Stacy from the Crazy Outdoor Mama. Bye!